Good morning, beautiful people. It's Tammy here from Introspect. I am doing a reading this morning for the week of February the 28th to March the 6th, 2022. Let's jump in and see what the energies are for this week. Any guidance, any messages, any wisdom that's going to come in for us. So I'm going to start with the Gateway of Light activation deck. This one. Let's see what messages come through. Collective energy. So if this reading resonates, claim it 100%. If it doesn't resonate, then just let it go. It wasn't for you. It's perfectly fine. I just want to send my heartfelt love out to all of the people in Ukraine at the moment that are really struggling and going through a lot of hardship and a lot of pain and suffering. And so let's just, shine some love out to all those people and all of their families around the world that may be fearing for their safety and their lives. It really is a very chaotic time in the world right now, and in order for us to be okay and find peace and harmony within in such great times of chaos takes a lot of self-awareness and self-responsibility. We can have compassion and be aware of what's going on without going into the energy of it and allowing it to really pull us down and drag us into that space. Obviously, if you're affected directly, it's a completely different story. But, being mindful that as we go through this evolution of consciousness, this shift for the whole planet, it's really, really important that as these things pop up, it's the dark trying to remain in power. So we need to keep shining the light. This is really, really important. And in order for us to do that, we need to be able to connect within ourselves, find that love within ourselves. Our cards just popped out. Find that love within ourselves and shine that light into the world. This is what our world needs right now. Because if we drop into the fear, if we drop into that space of the negativity, as soon as we drop into the fear, we are giving we're giving our power away. So let's not do that. Cool. So what's come through is the Sword of Light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. I'm just going to call in Archangel Michael and allow his presence to be with us for this reading. So the Sword of Light comes from Archangel Michael. He holds the Sword of Light, and within my Reiki sessions, I always call him in if I am doing any cord cutting. So cord cutting can be on an energetic level. So every time we come into contact with another person, another human, our energies intertwine. And so when we are in relationship with somebody, our energies become very, very entangled, especially if there is a sexual connection. So when we disconnect from this person in the physical, what happens is these cords of attachment remain intact. And this can look like, when you constantly keep thinking about an ex, or you keep seeing them, or they keep coming into your life for whatever reason. So just knowing that there are still cords of attachment that are entangled there, and that we do have the ability to cut those cords in order to release that attachment. We can do this within any relationship. It doesn't have to be a sexual relationship. So it can be within a family dynamic, like if you've just had an argument with your partner, that you love, and you're in this relationship together, you can still cut those cords of you know, straight after a not very nice entanglement, because it can clear your energy. It's not about disconnecting from the person and not, you know, having that connection with them. It's disconnecting from that energy that was just playing out, kind of thing. So, and this is a form of protecting ourselves. So if we want to be the most amazing version of ourselves and whole and complete, then we must protect our energy. And cutting cords is a part of this. So, and, you know, it says breakthrough energy. So when we do disconnect, especially when it's from the entanglement of relationships, you know, if you've spent 14, 20, 30 years with somebody, the entanglement of your energy is huge. So we must cut the cords of entanglement from that energy in order to move forward in life. Yeah. And then we are open to having these breakthroughs of energy, because it can be a drain. It literally can be draining your energy, having that connection still to somebody. And there may be layers of this, especially if it's been a really, really long period of time that you've been with somebody, or, you know, in relationship to family members even. So yeah, just really honoring that this is a powerful, energetic, this is a powerful, energetic form of protecting ourselves. Sorry, just had a moment. Right. Beautiful. That's beautiful. And actually, actually, so even within the world context of what's happening in the world right now, can we disconnect from the energy of what is going on? Okay, we can still have love and compassion without feeling everything, or without going into the darkness of what is actually playing out. And then also disconnecting from the media and what is being portrayed in the media. Because as we know, you know, for the last 50 years, we cannot trust the media. The media tells us what the media wants us to believe. They don't give us the truth. So while, yes, there are absolutely things going on in the world, can we disconnect from the mainstream media and find our information from sources that feel good to us, that we can trust? So even cutting cords to the media, 100%. Cutting cords to social media, you know, like who often may go into Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be, find yourself scrolling and start feeling heavy and dense inside and yuck. Okay, so honoring these feelings. If it doesn't feel good, disconnect from it. And that may mean doing a full cord cutting, whether it be a meditation or going to a healer of some sort, and actually cutting the cords to that media, to that social media platform. Because we create cords in every experience, every experience in our life. Okay. So just tapping into the Work Your Light deck, Rebecca Campbell. Not used to my camera being on this way. So please bear with me. Okay, for the collective energies for February the 28th to March the 6th, 2022. What guidance, wisdom, support, or messages do you have for us? Yeah, I guess when we have that real deep connection within ourselves, that deep self-love, then anything that happens out externally of us, we are able to come from that space of compassion and love without getting discombobulated by what's happening in the external. Okay, so just really noticing, you know, how the external world is affecting us. It's a really good indicator of what's going on in here. And then from there, what can we do about it? Okay, too many dropped out. That's not right. Okay, I think we're going to pull one. No jumpers today. Oh, this was actually one of the ones that just popped out. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. Sorry, there we go. How stunning is that image? Okay, so this is also, I mean, you know, like John is my partner, who does past life regression, is just so super busy at the moment because a lot of these past lives, karmic bonds, soul patterns, contracts are coming up to be released now because the energy of our planet is shifting and changing, and anything that is holding us back from being the highest vibration that we need to be in order to move through this evolutional shift in consciousness needs to go. So this is a real key time. And if you're finding that, say for instance, maybe every month the same thing is coming up for review, the same thing is coming up and you're getting triggered by the same pattern or the same person or the same experience is coming through, maybe the same experience might be coming through but in different forms. So, you know, if you find yourself saying, I'm so sick of this, I'm done with this energy, this person, this experience, I'm so over it kind of thing, then really tap into what is it that you're over and what is the pattern that's playing out and where has that come from? Okay, is that could that be a pattern that is coming from a past life? Is this maybe family lineage even, you know, a pattern or belief or a program that's been passed down that is not yours, that you don't want to carry on, you want to break the cycle? So asking ourselves these big questions, you know, am I ready to release this? And I do have the power to release this. Okay, so stepping out of the victim mentality and actually dropping into, I have the power to create my life. I have the power to shift and change my life. And, you know, I just had this conversation with a beautiful client this morning that we have the power to drop into that belief system that's playing in the subconscious. Once we have an awareness of something, then we have the power to drop into that and actually shift and change that. So it's like the software on our computer system is what's running in the subconscious. So it's not consciously in the forefront, it's running in the background like the software of a computer, and we can change the software. We have that choice. Okay, so so that's unbound, releasing soul patterns. So, you know, for instance, a soul pattern might be, I'll use myself as an example. Okay, so I came into this world with a soul wound of abandonment. And so that has come through from lifetimes before, and then in this lifetime it played out in many different ways and stages. So my parents were both working a lot when I was a baby, so I was left alone a lot. Therefore, I would have felt abandoned. When I was born, the energy that came through from my mother was abandonment. My father had dropped her off to the hospital and then gone back to work. So therefore she felt abandoned, she felt alone. And so that energy that she felt, I came through with. And then it played out in my life. So baby, and then relationships, constantly felt abandoned by male energy. My father left when we were 7, you know, so the family broke up, and then he would only be around every few months or whenever, so constantly felt abandoned, and even when he was present, he wasn't present. So therefore, you know, not seen, not heard, feeling abandoned. And really, what happened was that I ended up abandoning myself as well. So through, the course of drugs, alcohol, sex, always looking outside of myself to try and fill that void. And I abandoned myself. I allowed myself to self-sabotage. And, so this was a pattern that ran through my whole life until I started to become aware and got sick of it. Okay, and it's usually when we get sick of the same old shit that we start to make those changes. So if you're sick of it and you're ready for the change, then let's go. Okay, so the next one is Angels and Ancestors. This is another Kyle Gray deck. It's beautiful. So from February 28th to Sunday the 6th, 2022, we've got a little popper. Oh, yeah, this is so perfect. See beyond the current situation. How fucking true is this right now? Okay, so when I'm talking on a global scale here, because obviously the current situation is yuck. It's chaotic. And I've used this analogy many times before, and I will use it again because I think that it is really, really key and really important. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, it literally turns to mush. It becomes chaos before it transforms into a beautiful butterfly. We, on a global collective scale, are currently in the mush. We are in the cocoon and we are in the mush stage. And this is why seeing beyond the current situation is so key. Okay, so having that higher perspective of what is truly going on here. And, we couldn't possibly go through an evolution shift in consciousness without seeing all of the corruption and the dark that has been playing out in our world for generations. And so to be able to see beyond what's happening and look towards where this is moving us and where we are moving, where we are going, and holding that vision for what we want, what we truly want, not what is, but what we want. What we want to feel, what we want our world to look like. So, but in order to change, we have to go through the darkness. We have to shine the light on the darkness. So we have to see it, okay? Because it's there and it has to be seen. And that's what we're currently going through. And, we're sold so much bullshit in our lives, and we have been, our entire lives. And if we have that deep inner knowing and trust within ourselves, trust is another huge thing that's coming up. If we have that within ourselves, then we can feel stable and we can feel harmonious even amongst the chaos. Okay, so this is really, really key. So if you're feeling unstable and you're feeling unsupported and you're feeling ungrounded, it's really important to come back home to yourself and to take some time in nature and to, drop away from all of the distractions, no music, no podcast, no meditation, even just sitting with yourself and actually feeling into your body, feeling like dropping into your body, okay, getting out of the mind and into the body, in order to be able to see beyond what is, okay, because as we know throughout the entire history, in order to get to some great change, we've had to go through some great turmoil, and this is what's currently happening. So, having that higher perspective is really, really important. Beautiful. Okay. So the Oracle of Essences is my next one. So I'm a little bit obsessed with essential oils, Anyone that knows me knows that I always smell like essential oils. It's one of my things. I do love them so much. I have an acute sense of smell, so yeah, it's really, really important to me. And I get a lot of healing from smells, and I get a lot of, I don't know, it feels like there's a lot of depth in a smell, if that even makes sense. Okay, so collective energy for the 28th of February to the 6th of March. There's 3 there, so I'm not going to take them. I guess also coming back to the current situation one, acknowledging that, you know, we're creating in every moment with our thoughts and with our feelings, with our emotions. So if we drop into the current situation and we feel the fear and we go into the energy, then that's what we're creating from. Okay, so when we can step out of that fear and out of that negativity and out of that heavy, dark energy, and we can tap back into even something that feels a little bit better than that, okay? Because we may not go from fear to like love and joy and, you know, but if we can find a better feeling on the emotional scale, then we are creating from a higher vibration. Therefore, you know, because all of us on a collective level are creating our world right now. So where is your energy? Where is your energy set point? And can you make that higher on the emotional scale than fear or than hate or anger? You know, like those are really low vibrational emotions, and we do not want to be creating from there. You know, even neutrality is higher. Even boredom is higher. So, okay, 2 have popped out. I'm just going to ask if they are both for us today. Yes. Yes. Cool. So we've got 2 cards. The first one is Sandalwood, Spirituality and Faith. So this ties in beautifully because obviously we have to have faith, don't we? And faith can look so different to each and every person, and that is 100% okay. If we all were the same, this would not be the beautiful, diverse world that it is. So accepting that one person's faith is different to yours is really, really important. Acceptance is huge. So however your spirituality looks, own it, drop into it. It's got a lot of images. It's got all the chakra colors. Yeah, there's a lot of red in here too, which is safety and security. So our chakra system is really, really important for the alignment of our system, our biofield, and, you know, the parts of our body, the energetic part of our body that we can't see. But if we tap into, we can very much feel. And this is another really amazing thing that I was talking to someone about the other day, is that, you know, I was talking about distance healing, and she was like, how does that even work? And it's like, everything is energy, and we are energy. And if you intend on sending energy somewhere, then it will send there. Whether that's love energy or hate energy, it will still be sent. So, you know, that, and when we have that deep faith in our ability to heal and our ability to send healing, loving energy somewhere, then, and so it is. We can't see it. It doesn't mean that we can't understand it. And if you think about Wi-Fi and you think about the fact that you can send a message on a phone, on a device to the other side of the world and it arrives almost instantly, you can't explain it, but it happens and it's real. So therefore, sending energy is very much the same. And, we have all of these things, even switching on a power, the light switch. We don't understand necessarily how the power gets there, but it does, and it turns on the light, and we just accept that as our reality. So this is very much the same. So have that faith in your spirituality. However that looks is perfect for you, but drop into your faith. And the other one is cilantro, which is changes and freedom. So, she looks like she's just rocked out of the 70s. Of course, we are going through massive changes right now. And of course, freedom is very much the hot topic at the moment. But please know this. If you don't have freedom within your soul, within yourself, within your vessel, within your soul, then you will struggle to find freedom outside of yourself. So freedom, just like most things, is an inside game as well. Okay, so, if you have everything taken off you, but you feel so solid and free within your soul, then all of that external shit doesn't matter. And this is how I have felt throughout this whole, narrative that's been playing out in the world. Okay, so you can take things away from me, but it hasn't affected me because I'm not attached to that. That doesn't equate to my personal freedom. Okay, I don't need to have that in order to feel free within myself. I feel free within myself just as me, because I've done the work. I've gone in and released my soul from the chains and binds in which it has held me down and held me trapped in that 3D matrix. So once you release yourself from that, the freedom within, it equates to your outside reality as well. Also acknowledging that change is a natural part of life. So nature obviously teaches us in many different ways, and nature is constantly changing. We're constantly going through the seasons. Everything is changing all the time. So if we can get really comfortable with change, if we can really honor change and allow change to be a part of our life, okay? Because I guess humans become very stuck and very comfortable in that comfort zone, but that's not where growth happens. And so we have to go through the seasons, and sometimes we'll go through all of the seasons in one day, so if you really honor that within your body, then you get really good at changes. And change becomes this beautiful thing. It's like, awesome, something new. What's next? How can I grow? How can I move through this with ease and grace and flow? Instead of being, like, oh no, change feels scary and, I'm resisting it and I'm going to make it hard because I'm going to resist it. And when we flow with life, it becomes beautiful and harmonious and connected. I'm not going to, I absolutely sometimes still struggle with change, I'm not going to lie. But I have gone through, particularly in the last kind of 4 years, I've gone through some massive personal change and growth and fast, and it seemed continuous. And yeah, it got tiring even, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just been so beautiful and amazing. And now, even when I find myself getting a little bit, the body contracts, when there's imminent change on the way. And I just allow myself to drop into that. Okay, what's the fear? What's stopping me from stepping into this change? And how can I serve myself in the greatest way by actually allowing myself to feel that fear, but step in anyway. And know that there's always goodness on the other side. It's always like we always do something and then we're like, oh my God, I wish I'd done that years ago. Like, it's amazing. And remembering that in every moment. Okay, so we've got oh yeah. This is from the Beyond Lumeria deck, which is also, I mean, they're all so beautiful. But the images on these really speak to me. Surrender. Oh, surrender. So much so. So, we don't always need to know what it is that's going on for us, what it is that's bubbling to the surface, what it is that's coming up for review. You know, we don't always need to know. We can surrender it over to the universe. And when we use our intention, yeah, we have the power to do this. So please, if stuff is bubbling up for you and you're not sure what it is, journal. I surrender this over to the universe. I can feel this. I honor this. And I'm ready to surrender this over now. Okay, call upon your angels and guides of the highest truth and compassion, and allow yourself to surrender it over to the universe. I'm ready to release this now, and I surrender this over. If you've got some big decisions that you have to make and you're really struggling with these decisions, can you surrender it over to the universe and ask for some guidance, for some signs or synchronicities that will help you along, along this path? So not asking for a direct yes or no answer. That's not what the universe does. The universe will send you signs. It will send you people that will put you on the right path. So allow yourself to surrender it over. We don't have to logically work everything out. We don't have to logically know what is happening next. Okay? And this comes with the change as well, because I think this is why a lot of us struggle with change, is because we want to know exactly what's happening next. We have this underlying anxiety that if we don't know what's happening next and we don't have control of it, again, trust coming in, because when we don't trust, then we need to control. And we will control everything and anything that we can, whether it's people, our children, our workspace, our work colleagues, our house, the way that the house looks, the way things are lined up within our house, OCD, all of the things, all of that control comes from a lack of trust. So when we allow ourselves to surrender that over to a greater plan, okay, because the universe can create the most amazing opportunities for us that we couldn't possibly even make up for ourselves. So please know that if you have the ability to surrender it over, please do, because amazing and magical things can happen from surrendering it over. And I know I went through a real dark night of the soul last year. Was it last year? I went through many in the last 2 years. And, I didn't know how to release this, like I had journaled, I had meditated, I had asked all the questions, I'd done healings, I'd done everything that I possibly could, and it was still there, this heaviness was still there. And it wasn't until, like, I sat outside under the moon one night and I just cried and cried and cried and just surrendered it over. I surrender this over to the universe. Please allow me to move through this. Allow me to get past this, please, and it worked. It was amazing. It just lifted the energy almost instantly. By the next day, I was on a completely different vibration, and great healing comes from surrendering over. So yeah, drop into that surrender. I just feel like there's people questioning, like, what does surrender look like? You know, what do you mean by surrender? And I guess it's not a giving up, so to say, it's a giving over. So it's handing it over and actually saying, like, I have faith and I trust that the universe will take this and transmute this. Okay, so it takes a lot of faith. So where did we have? We had the faith. Okay, so a lot of faith and surrendering over. And even, within that current situation, so seeing beyond what is and just surrendering it over and allowing the universe to do what it does best, which is create magic. And when you have faith in magic, magic happens. So I feel like that's all beautiful messages and very on point. I hope you'll all have a beautiful week, and I will be here next week with the energy update and for whatever messages will be coming through then. Please like and subscribe, and for future readings, and below will be ways in which you can work with myself or John at Introspect Healing for one-on-ones, whether they be distance or in person. Love you all. Have a beautiful week.